finally get it over with?
It's a big relief. I've known for a little bit now that's where I wanted to go, that's where I wanted to be, and to finally fulfill that hometown hero road is a big step for me and really important.
Was there a turning point in the recruitment where you said Kentucky's the clear leader?
I mean, to be honest with you, my recruitment was all turning points. Like, I would go somewhere and I want to go somewhere else, and I go like wherever last place I went is where I wanted to go, and then I Coach Merrill kind of helped me guide my way through the recruiting process without even recruiting me to Kentucky. Just telling me about recruiting in general. So Coach Merrill was a big play in my recruitment, and he deserves a lot of credit for my recruitment.
With the success that Sharman and the guys have had in your unit, specifically the offensive line, how much of that, with the hometown guys, Landon, Drake, some of these guys, how much of that?
That played a big role too. I want to be great wherever I go, and if I can be great standing home, why not? So seeing guys like Darian Kennard and Stenberg and Drake Jackson and all those guys, and then John Young, who's starting to get there, really played a big part.
Have you talked to a lot of those guys at all?
Yeah, I hang out with a good amount of them, a decent amount. Me and Octavius are really close. He plays D-line, so.
What does this say about Kentucky football, that you're sitting at a table at Ohio State, Clemson, Oregon, and you're picking UK?
It shows that we're coming. We're coming for the top. So.
All the situation with COVID and the visits and everything, how frustrating was that, or did it have as much of an impact as people maybe thought it did?
It had a big impact for sure, but it wasn't really a determining factor for anyone, I don't think. I mean, you can never know because those official visits will shift a lot of people, but I think either way, I think I would have ended up a Wildcat in the end. So.
Before January, you got a high school football season.
Yeah.
I'm sure you guys wanted to end in the state championship, but what's it going to take to get back?
I know we got the team, just teamwork, and being a player-led team. Coach McPeak preaches it all the time: player-led, not coach-led. That's what wins you state championships. So now that we know how to get there, now we're gonna figure out how to win it. So.
Jager, how did some of the other coaches react when you called to tell them you weren't coming to their school?
They were all really understanding, and a lot of them said they weren't going to stop recruiting me, but I told them, I'm not going anywhere. I've preached that since the beginning. I'm not decommitting. I'm never going to decommit. So unless a unforeseen coaching change happens somewhere, then I'm not going anywhere.
Was there one coach that was a little more intimidating to call than another?
Alabama's always intimidating to call, but they were really understanding. Clemson's always intimidating to call. All those are pretty intimidating. It was emotional for me to call those guys. They give you like your dream, and then you feel like you kind of in a way just throwing it right back at their face, be like, I don't want that. But I think those guys understand, and they really were grateful for me calling them before. I don't think a lot of guys do that. So.
Who did you first call at UK? What was their reaction?
I only called Coach Mayer and Coach Stoops. None of the rest of the staff knew. Apparently there's a video of Coach Stoops or something. I haven't seen it yet, but apparently he posted some sort of video or something.
And what was his reaction on the phone?
They just started screaming. They were freaking out. I think Vince knew I was probably going to come to Kentucky, but none of the rest of the staff, I don't think they thought I was coming. So.
What was Walker's reaction when you told him you weren't going to join him?
I just FaceTimed him right now. He's happy for me. We both understand it. He had the same opportunity, I guess, in a way, to join me in Kentucky. But we're best friends no matter where we are. So I'm sure I'll get to go see some of his games, and maybe we'll get to play each other in a national championship or something like that. So.
Jager, do you remember when?
Was there a close
I'll go with this. It was really all those schools were basically a second. I would teeter-totted so much. There was no. I was really high in Alabama. I was really high in all those schools for a long time. It just happened to click in my head, like, hey, I can do it here. Why go anywhere else?
Jager, do you remember when Drake Jackson, Landon Young, Case Daniel, those guys committed to Kentucky?
Yeah, that was back whenever I was, dreaming about what they were doing, and seeing all that. That also played a big role. Seeing guys like that, high-rated guys that chose to stay home over all these schools, basically, that I had up there. So that meant a lot to me too. That they did that for their state, and I wanted to do it for mine too. So.
Are you sold on the offensive side, or would you play defensive ends?
I play whatever they want me to. I prefer offense, but I get some sacks in high school, so whatever they want me for.
I know you mentioned before that Coach Larkin was kind of a big figure in you making that switch. I mean, how it paid off.
Yeah, Coach Larman at my camp my sophomore year, he got me to switch from D-line to O-line at the camp. He was like, you're an athletic D lineman, but you'd be an extremely athletic O lineman. So I was like, I'll give it a try, whatever it takes to go to Kentucky. So.